Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to stop for a moment and ask yourself, what would your life look like if nothing could stop you? If distractions didn't pull you off course, if fear didn't hold you back, if every ounce of your energy was locked in on your purpose. Today, I'm not here to give you hope. I'm here to show you power. The kind of power that transforms dreams into results, struggles into strength, and ordinary people into unstoppable forces of nature. Get ready, because this is the moment you decide who you are going to become. You want to understand what separates the people who get everything they want in life from those who drift through it, watching opportunities pass them by. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's focus. The ability to lock in, to cut through the noise of the world, and to commit with every ounce of your being to the one thing that will move your life forward. I'm not talking about trying to do more. I'm talking about doing less, but doing it with unstoppable intensity. You see, focus is a weapon. And like any weapon, it only works when it's wielded with precision, when your aim is true, and when nothing shakes your hand. Most people wander through life scattered. Their attention is fractured, their energy siphoned off by emails, social media, notifications, and endless distractions disguised as opportunities. They call it busy, but what they really mean is productive. They spend their days reacting instead of creating, drifting instead of driving. And here's the truth, your mind is your most powerful asset. And if you let it wander, it will betray you every single time. But when you lock in, when you declare war on distractions, suddenly possibilities appear. You start to notice the opportunities others overlook. You start moving faster, thinking clearer, performing better. Focus turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Think about a laser. A laser cuts through steel not because it's big, not because it's loud, but because it concentrates all its energy on a single point. That's what focus does. Every time you scatter your attention, you diffuse your power. Every time you let yourself get pulled in 5 directions at once, you weaken your impact. But when you decide to lock in, when you commit to one vision, one goal, one purpose, and refuse to let anything distract you, something remarkable happens. The world begins to move in alignment with your determination. Doors open that once seemed closed. Solutions appear when you least expect them, and your energy multiplies. Now, I know locking in is not easy. Our brains are wired to seek comfort, to chase novelty, to entertain ourselves constantly. It's natural to want to scroll, to click, to procrastinate. But here's the hard truth: comfort kills dreams. Every time you choose distraction over discipline, you're choosing mediocrity. You're telling the world and yourself that your future isn't worth the fight. And I don't want that for you. You weren't born to settle. You weren't put on this earth to drift. You were born to dominate, to create, to push beyond what you thought was possible. And that begins with one decision, the decision to lock in. Locking in is a choice. And like all choices, it starts in your mind. It starts with a declaration. I will not be moved. I will not be shaken. I will not let anything stand between me and the person I am meant to become. When you say that, when you truly commit, you begin to see the invisible patterns in your life. You notice the distractions that have been holding you back. You notice the energy leaks, the endless scrolling, the gossip, the people who drain you instead of elevate you. You can't control the world, but you can control what you let into your mind. Protect it, guard it, treat your focus like it's the most valuable currency you have, because it is. And here's the beauty of it: once you lock in, momentum builds itself. One day of focus leads to 2. 2 days leads to a week. A week becomes a month. And before you know it, you are operating a level you never thought possible. Life stops feeling random. Your goals stop feeling distant. You start achieving, not because of luck, not because of talent, but because your energy is no longer scattered. You are unstoppable because your mind is aligned with your purpose. So today, make a choice. Decide what deserves your attention. Decide what matters more than anything else. And then protect it fiercely. Say no to the things that don't serve your mission. Say yes to the work, the effort, the sacrifice that will transform your life. Stop dabbling. Stop letting the world tug you in 1,000 directions. You only get one mind. You only get one life. Use them both with precision. Because when your mind is locked in, the world can't break you. You see, locking in your focus is just the beginning. Focus without action is like a car engine running in neutral. You're revving, you're ready, but you're not moving. The bridge between potential and power, between what you can do and what you actually achieve, is discipline. Discipline is the engine that turns focus into unstoppable momentum. Discipline is the quiet force that separates the dreamers from the doers, the people who talk about change from the people who live it. Most people think discipline is some kind of punishment. They hear the word and imagine a life of rigidity, of sacrifice, of giving up everything they enjoy. But that's a lie. True discipline isn't punishment, it's liberation. It's the freedom to control your life rather than letting your impulses control you. It's the ability to wake up every morning and decide, I am going to do what needs to be done, no matter what I feel like. That's the difference between someone who drifts through life hoping for luck and someone who designs their destiny and makes it inevitable. Here's the truth: talent is worthless without discipline. You can have every skill, every opportunity, every resource imaginable. And if you lack the commitment to show up consistently, to do the work day in out, none of it will matter. Consistency is your secret weapon. Small, disciplined actions compounded over time create unstoppable momentum. It's not the flashy moments that define success. It's the countless invisible decisions, the ones nobody sees that stack day after day and eventually tip the scales in your favor. Discipline is also about decisions, about what you allow in and what you refuse. Every choice is a fork in the road. Do you watch that extra hour of TV or invest that hour in learning, in building and creating? Do you scroll mindlessly through social media, letting other people dictate your mood? Or do you protect your mind like the treasure it is? Every time you choose the harder, more disciplined path, you are building a muscle that will carry you through challenges that would break others. That muscle doesn't just grow overnight. It grows when you show up again and again, when you choose commitment over comfort, courage over convenience, action over procrastination. Discipline is not about perfection. You will stumble. You will slip. But here's the secret. The people who become unstoppable are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who fail and get up every single time. They are the ones who know that momentum comes from action, not from waiting for the perfect mood or the perfect moment. Success is forged in the fires of persistence. And persistence is nothing more than repeated discipline in motion. Think about it like this. Every goal you have, every dream you carry is a mountain. Focus is pointing at the peak. Discipline is taking the first step, and then the next, and the next. It's climbing when it's raining, when your legs ache, when every part of you is screaming to quit. That's what builds character. That's what builds resilience. That's what transforms potential into real, undeniable power. Discipline also teaches you patience, because the world will not bend instantly to your will. You will not wake up one morning and have everything you've ever wanted. But when you commit to disciplined action, the universe responds. Opportunities appear. Doors open. People notice. Your life begins to bend toward your effort. You start to operate on a level others only dream about because you've built the habits, the consistency, the internal structure that makes success inevitable. And here's the most important part. Discipline is not just about work. It's about alignment. It's about making sure that every action, every choice, every effort is in service of your ultimate vision. Without alignment, discipline becomes busy work. But when your focus, your habits, and your actions are all aligned toward the same purpose, you become unstoppable. You don't just chase results, you become the results. So start today. Decide that you will no longer let impulses dictate your life. Decide that you will do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Build the habits, repeat the actions, embrace the grind. Show up for yourself every single day and watch as the impossible begins to collapse under the weight of your persistence. Discipline is not just a skill, it is a lifestyle. It is the bridge that carries you from where you are now to the unstoppable version of yourself. We've talked about focus. We've talked about discipline. But there's something even more powerful than both of these, and it's something most people completely misunderstand. It's mindset. Your mindset is the lens through which you experience your entire life. It is the difference between someone who drifts through challenges, defeated, and someone who uses every obstacle as fuel to become unstoppable. And here's the thing, your mind is wired for comfort. It wants ease, it wants certainty, it wants the path of least resistance. That's natural. But greatness, real transformation, never comes from comfort. It comes from commitment. Most people are comfortable with mediocrity without even realizing it. They live in routines that feel safe, but they slowly kill potential. They wait for motivation to show up, hoping it will magically push them forward. But motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. Mindset, on the other hand, is your permanent engine. When you rewire your mindset, you no longer need to rely on temporary feelings. You stop asking, do I feel like it today? And start asking, what must I do today to get closer to who I am meant to become? That shift is everything. To rewire your mindset, you first have to recognize the stories you tell yourself. Most people are running on autopilot, repeating narratives that limit them without even realizing it. I'm not good enough. I don't have the time. It's too hard. Every one of these thoughts is a decision to settle for less than your potential. But the truth is, these are just thoughts. They have no power unless you give it to them. You have the ability at any moment to change the story, to change the way you see yourself, to rewrite the script of your life. And when you do that, when you make that decision consciously, you begin to see the impossible become possible. Here's the next step. Stop seeking comfort. Start seeking commitment. Comfort is passive. Commitment is active. Comfort asks, what's easiest? Commitment asks, what's required? And let me tell you something, your life will only rise to the level of your commitment, not your convenience. You don't achieve breakthroughs by following the easy path. You achieve them by stepping into discomfort, by leaning into challenges, by choosing the hard right over the easy wrong over and over again. That's where the growth lives. That's where the transformation begins. Your mindset also determines how you respond to failure. Everyone will fail. Everyone will face setbacks. But here's the secret. Failure doesn't define you. It refines you. If your mindset is strong, every failure becomes a lesson. Every obstacle becomes a stepping stone. Every no becomes a redirection towards something greater. People with unstoppable mindsets don't get discouraged. They get determined. They don't quit. They pivot, adapt, and keep moving forward. And the more you practice this, the more your mind rewires itself to see possibilities instead of limits. Another key aspect of mindset is how you define yourself. Most people define themselves by what they've done by their past, by what they've failed at or what they've been told. But your identity is not static. It's not fixed. It's malleable. You have the power to become anyone, to do anything, to achieve anything. The moment you decide to operate from your highest standards, the moment you decide to act in alignment with the person you are becoming, not the person you were yesterday. This is where true power comes from seeing yourself as capable, resilient, and unstoppable, and then taking actions every day that reinforce that identity. Rewiring your mindset also means taking responsibility, total responsibility for your life. No excuses. No blame. No waiting for someone else to fix your problems or create your opportunities. You own your results. You own your success. You own your failures. And once you fully embrace that, you stop being a victim of circumstance and start being the architect of your destiny. That mindset shift alone changes everything. Suddenly, challenges become opportunities. Obstacles become fuel. And every step forward, no matter how small, becomes a victory. So start today. Catch yourself in the moments you choose comfort over commitment, the moments you let fear or doubt dictate your actions. Reframe them. Change the story. Decide that you will operate at a higher level, that you will see every difficulty as an invitation to grow, that you will define yourself by your vision, not your history. Your life is the reflection of your mindset. And the moment you commit to transforming your mind, you transform your reality. Your mindset is not a luxury. It's the foundation for the unstoppable version of yourself. You've locked in your focus. You've built your discipline. You've rewired your mindset. But even with all of that, there's one more battle you have to fight every single day, and it's not the kind of battle most people even notice. It's the battle for your energy, your attention, your very capacity to perform. The world is full of noise, endless notifications, endless distractions, endless opinions, and if you let them, they will steal your life one moment at a time. Your energy is precious, your focus is sacred. And the moment you start protecting both, that's when you begin to operate on a level others can only dream about. Most people have no idea how much of their life is being consumed by things that don't matter. They scroll through feeds, they gossip, they let negativity seep into their minds, they absorb other people's fears and doubts, and then they wonder why their own results are stagnant. Every piece of attention you give away is a piece of power you no longer have. Your mind, your energy, your capacity to take massive action, they are finite. You can't get them back once they're wasted. So the question is simple: who and what are you going to allow into your space? Who are the voices, the influences, the habits that will shape your tomorrow? Cutting the noise doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means creating boundaries. It means taking control of what enters your mind and what you allow to steal your energy. It means protecting your focus like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. When you start choosing your inputs carefully, what you read, what you watch, who you spend your time with, you begin to shape your outputs. Your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, they all start aligning with the person you are determined to become. Energy flows where attention goes. If you scatter it, your results scatter. If you protect it, your results multiply. Think about the people you admire, the ones who seem unstoppable. They didn't get there by accident. They got there because they learned to protect their energy. They say no to distractions. They say no to people who drain them. They say no to habits that don't serve their purpose. And by saying no, they're saying yes to growth, to focus, to power. And here's the truth: every time you say yes to something that doesn't matter, you are saying no to yourself. Every time you let a distraction pull you away from what's truly important, you delay your own success. Protecting your energy also means understanding the difference between urgent and important. The world will scream at you with urgencies, emails, messages, tasks, interruptions, but urgency does not equal importance. Most people spend their lives reacting to urgencies and neglecting what truly moves the needle in their lives. The unstoppable ones flip the script. They decide first what is important: the vision, the mission, the goals that define their life, and then they arrange everything else around it. They don't let the trivial steal their precious energy. They act intentionally, purposefully, relentlessly. Another part of protecting your energy is managing your environment. Your surroundings shape your mind. If your home is cluttered, your mind will be cluttered. If your relationships are toxic, your energy will be drained. If your media consumption is constant chaos, your thinking will become chaotic. Control your environment and you control your mind. Create spaces, routines, and systems that fuel your focus, not fight against it. Protect your mornings, protect your time for reflection, protect your moments of silence and clarity. This is where the magic happens. And here's the most powerful truth: when you start protecting your energy, the world begins to bend toward you. Opportunities that once seemed impossible start appearing. Solutions you didn't see before become clear. You start moving faster, thinking sharper, performing at levels that overwhelm the competition. This is what it means to be unstoppable, not because the world changed, because you changed. You stopped giving away your power. You stopped letting distraction define your life. You took control. So today, decide what you will protect fiercely. Decide who and what you will allow in. Say no to the noise. Say yes to your energy, your focus, your power. Stop letting the world steal your potential one moment at a time. You have one mind. You have one life. Guard both, and nothing will be able to stop you. Your energy is your greatest asset, and once you protect it, you are truly unstoppable. You've locked in your focus. You've built discipline. You've rewired your mindset. You've protected your energy. But now comes the real test, the part that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Life will push back. Life will test you. It will throw challenges in your path, obstacles that seem insurmountable, pain that feels unbearable. And here's the truth: the people who become unstoppable are not the ones who avoid the grind. They are the ones who embrace it. They understand that struggle is not a punishment. Struggle is a sign that you are on the path of transformation. Every obstacle, every setback, Every moment of discomfort is a stepping stone to power. Most people run from pain. They try to avoid it at all costs, thinking comfort is the path to success. But comfort is a trap. Growth lives in the tension, in the moments where you push past what you thought was possible. The grind, the hard work, the long hours, the obstacles no one sees is where you discover what you're really made of. Pressure doesn't break you, it reveals you. Every time you lean into the struggle, every time you refuse to quit when it's hard, you are building resilience. You are building a mental toughness that cannot be shaken by life's storms. Pain is an opportunity disguised as adversity. When life tests you, when it feels unfair, when everything seems to be stacked against you, that's when transformation happens. Most people collapse under pressure. Most people see challenges as signals to quit. But you, the person committed to becoming unstoppable, you see them as signals to rise. You see them as invitations to become stronger, sharper, more capable. You take the struggle and you turn it into fuel. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every failure becomes a stepping stone. Every difficulty becomes a launch pad. Embracing the grind also means taking ownership. No excuses, no blaming circumstances, no waiting for someone else to fix your problems. You own your struggles, you own your failures, you own your victories. And the more you take ownership, the more powerful you become. When you stop pointing fingers, when you stop complaining, when you stop waiting for life to be easy, you step into control. You step into your true power. And that's what being unstoppable is all about, taking full responsibility for your life and using every experience, good or bad, propel yourself forward. This is also where perseverance comes in. Most people give up too soon. They see one roadblock and they quit. They see one failure and they lose hope. But perseverance is the hallmark of the unstoppable. Perseverance is the ability to keep moving forward, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many times you stumble. It's not glamorous. It's not easy, but it works. Day after day, step by step, the person who perseveres outlasts everyone else. They accumulate victories that no one notices at first, and eventually the world can't ignore them. You must also learn to reframe your struggles. Stop seeing pain as a negative. Start seeing it as information. Start seeing it as guidance. Pain is not there to punish you. It is there to teach you, to test you, to prepare you for something greater. Every challenge you face is shaping you into the version of yourself that can handle even more. Every difficulty is a rehearsal for your destiny. The more you embrace it, the faster you grow. The more you lean into discomfort, the more unstoppable you become. And here's the most critical part. The grind is not just about surviving. It's about thriving. It's not about enduring pain. It's about transforming it into power. It's not about hoping things get easier. It's about becoming so capable, so strong, so relentless that nothing can stop you. The people who succeed aren't the ones who avoid struggle. They're the ones who see struggle, lean into it, and say, I will not be broken. I will not be stopped. I will turn this into my advantage. That mindset is unstoppable. That mindset turns ordinary people into legends. So when life pushes, when it tests you, when it seems impossible, remember this, the grind is your friend. The struggle is your teacher. Pain is your opportunity. Embrace it. Lean into it. Learn from it. Use it to forge a version of yourself that cannot be shaken, that cannot be deterred, that cannot be stopped. The more you welcome the challenge, the more you transform, the closer you get to the unstoppable version of yourself. Your struggles are not obstacles. They are your greatest allies. You've focused. You've disciplined yourself. You've rewired your mindset. You've protected your energy. You've embraced the grind. And now it all comes together. The final step, the transformation, is about identity. It's about who you decide to be right here, right now. Because being unstoppable isn't just about what you do. It's about who you become in the process. And here's the truth that your results are a reflection of your identity. The level of focus you bring, the discipline you practice, the mindset you cultivate, the energy you protect, the challenges you embrace, all of it shapes not just your life, but your very self. Most people chase results. They want the money, the recognition, the titles, the opportunities. But those things alone will never make you unstoppable. They are fleeting. They are external. What makes someone truly unstoppable is internal. It's a shift in identity. It's deciding at a deep level that you are the kind of person who wins, that you are the kind of person who perseveres when others quit, that you are the kind of person who acts no matter what. When you step into this identity, you stop being reactive. You stop waiting for circumstances to tell you who you are. You define yourself. You embody your potential. This is where the magic happens. When you claim your identity as an unstoppable person, every action you take aligns with it. You no longer need to force yourself. You no longer need to rely on fleeting motivation. The decisions, the habits, the energy, all of it flows naturally because it is consistent with the person you have chosen to be. The unstoppable person doesn't debate whether they will act or not. They act automatically. Every choice becomes an opportunity to reinforce the identity they've claimed. Identity is also about vision. You have to see yourself as more than who you are today. You have to step into a future version of yourself that demands growth, that demands action, that refuses to settle. Most people define themselves by their past, by their mistakes, by what they've failed at. But that is not who you are. That is not your story. Your story is being written right now, moment by moment, decision by decision. And every time you choose focus over distraction, discipline over ease, commitment over comfort, you are sculpting the unstoppable version of yourself. Becoming unstoppable also means embracing responsibility at the deepest level. The people who achieve extraordinary results don't blame others. They don't wait for the world to give them permission. They take full ownership of their lives. They are accountable for their thoughts, their emotions, their actions, and their results. And with that ownership comes power. The power to shape your destiny, to create your opportunities, to refuse to be limited by circumstances. This is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. The world may try to define you, but you define yourself. You must also understand that being unstoppable is a process, not an event. You do not wake up one morning and suddenly embody your ultimate potential. It is the sum of all the choices you've made, the focus you've committed to, the discipline you've built, the mindset you've cultivated, the energy you've protected, the challenges you've faced. Identity is forged in action, not in words. You become unstoppable because day after day you decide to be that person regardless of how hard it gets, regardless of how long it takes. And when you truly step into this identity, the world responds. You stop chasing success. Success starts chasing you. Opportunities you never imagined appear. People are drawn to your energy, your clarity, your power. Doors open because your presence is undeniable. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is the natural result of living in alignment with the unstoppable version of yourself. You don't just act like success is coming. You become the person who deserves it, and everything else falls into place. So today, decide who you are. Decide that you are the unstoppable version of yourself. Let that identity guide your thoughts, your choices, your actions. Let it shape your habits, your energy, your response to challenges. Stop being defined by your past, by your fears, by what others think is possible for you. Step fully into your potential. Step fully into your power. Step fully into the person you were always meant to be. When you claim that identity, everything changes. You are no longer limited by obstacles, no longer derailed by setbacks, no longer shaken by life's storms. You become a force of nature, a person who cannot be stopped because your power does not come from circumstance. It comes from the unshakable belief in who you are. Becoming unstoppable is not about what happens to you. It is about who you choose to be.